My 64-year-old father-in-law came to me one morning and said, "Joe, something is really wrong with my foot." I look down and see something that looks almost like the size of an elephant's foot. His foot had swollen up overnight. He had just ran a marathon the day before and his foot was killing him. Now the good part of this story is a month or two later, he got back up to running in the mountains without any foot problems. Today, we're actually gonna go into the #1 natural remedy I use to help get rid of his swelling. If we haven't met, my name is Joe Sidaway. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and I help older adults live their best years on their own terms. So let's dive right in. My father-in-law had a pretty easy case to diagnose. He ran 26.2 miles and all that pounding caused some damage to his foot. Most of you out there are not planning on running a marathon, but may have swelling for other reasons. So first off, the thing you need to understand is a little bit of our anatomy. So you have tiny blood vessels called capillaries, and these can actually leak fluid into the rest of the body. This then builds up, and the image that you clicked on to watch this video, that's what we call edema, or that swelling that we see. Now there's a lot of things that can cause edema. Some causes include overeating salt, pregnancy, sitting in the same position for a long period of time, disease, and even certain medications. The technique I showed my father-in-law helps with recovery after an injury, but I realized this is the exact same protocol you can use if you have edema for any of those other reasons. So here are the steps. The acronym I use to remember it is peace and love. So let's go through these. P is for protection. So if you injure your foot, you don't want to keep banging it around on the door or the stairs. Instead, we want to keep it protected from other injury. This still applies even if you have another reason that's causing swelling in your foot. We don't want to aggravate that part of the body while we manage this swelling. E is for elevation. This is the best thing you can do that is passive and easy for managing your swelling, regardless of the cause. The issue is most people don't actually raise the foot high enough. My father-in-law, for example, just propped out his foot on a stool, but the objective is to let gravity do the work and pull the fluid down to your heart. So instead, keep that foot as high as you can with the goal to be above your heart, which ended up being pretty nice for just lying on the couch and reading a book or watching a show. A is for avoiding anti-inflammatory medications. And in the case of swelling, this includes NSAIDs like ibuprofen. This can cause an increase in swelling, especially if you take higher dosages or take them for longer periods of time. Now, if you want to know a pain relieving medication that might be an option for you, I'm going to share that at the end of the video. C is for compression, to push that fluid out of our feet. You can search on YouTube on how to wrap your foot for swelling or get a friend to do it for you. The biggest thing I want you to know though is think mild compression. We don't want to cut off any circulation or cause a lot of pain. In fact, a lot of people that we do this with, that's a telltale sign we've wrapped it too tightly if we're experiencing a lot of pain. And after 5 or 10 minutes, you should see some kind of an effect, some reduction in your swelling, which will help you know if you wrapped it tightly enough. E is for education, which actually just means that as a clinician, it's my job to help you know based on whatever diagnosis you have, how long are we expecting this swelling to last for? If you come in like my father-in-law, having an injury from running or spraining your ankle, I would say the swelling should be done within 2 weeks. If you have congestive heart failure, well, that depends, especially on what stage of heart failure you're in. So really knowing the cause of your swelling is crucial for that last bit of what's gonna be a reasonable amount of time I'm gonna have this swelling. So that is the peace section. The love section really applies less to general swelling, but is more helpful with after having an injury. So there's actually a link in the description if you want to read this infographic and take a look at what we do for love. But I have to make something very clear. There is a difference between edema, which is just regular swelling, and lymphedema. If you have just regular edema, then generally gravity can pull that fluid out of your feet when you prop it up. Partly due to the protein-rich content in the fluid, lymphedema requires compression and drainage techniques performed by a lymphedema specialist. That is why you should always double check with a physician if the swelling does not decrease when propping up your foot, and try to find out the root cause of your swelling. Okay, so real quick recap. Protect your feet, elevate them above your heart. Avoid taking NSAIDs like ibuprofen. And the medication that I was gonna recommend is Tylenol. It's acetaminophen if you look up just the generic name. I would highly recommend though that you check with your doctor because different pain relievers are going to affect different organs. So double check with your doctor who knows your medical history before you just start taking Tylenol. But that's a pain reliever medication that's not actually an NSAID, which hopefully should decrease the chances of it causing swelling. Next is compress the foot with an ACE wrap bandage. Remember to consult with your physician and your physical therapist so you have the right expectations for how long the swelling could last. As always, I'm trying to do the best I can to give you high quality education on how to live your life the best way you possibly can. If you have an idea for a video you would like me to do, go ahead and comment below. And as always, thanks so much for watching.